What's good, YouTube? It's your TooSmooveEli back with another extra. Today we got day 7 of the YNW trial. I skipped a couple days because of they wasn't not interesting. They just wasn't talking about much. But we back. YouTube, this is informational. It might be graphic text in here, but it's all informational. Let's get into it.
The YNW Melly trial got wild today.
That's what I like to hear.
Prosecution still debate over whether or not the phone messages can be used. An interesting text between Melly and his mom 2 days after the murders about buying a come up. Then an undercover gang detective takes a stand in a shiesty mask to hide his identity and explains to the jury the blood set that Melly was involved in. Yeah, a lot happened today, so
come on, bro. That mask's not gonna save you, fam.
Right now, the state is
that mask is not saving you, my guy.
Undercover gang detective to come up and testify with a shiesty mask on. Apparently, this guy also testified in the X murder trial.
Bro, you is
the 3 guys that killed X.
Bro,
see the outfit that he is supposedly going to wear to disguise himself. It's a violation of the confrontation clause of the U.S. Constitution.
This particular witness, did you take his deposition?
We did take his step.
And was he wearing a mask then or not?
Yes, sir.
He was, but
So let me stop. I'm just trying to figure out, is this the same type of mask that he wore then as he's going to wear now?
Yes, sir.
covers his entire face other than his eyes. So the jury cannot see and observe his demeanor.
None of the threats that this witness, that were referred to by the state concerning this witness, have anything to do with this defendant or this case.
This undercover detective has a $50,000 bounty on his head. He doesn't want to show his face because it's a risk. I would let it pass if I was a judge.
How long have you worked for
bro, that is crazy as hell. But bro, that mask ain't saving you.
This is 2015.
They're not gonna show us his face. He has a mask on and there's pictures of him all over Twitter. Who cares?
Credible threats on your life.
Yes.
Is there currently a credible threat on your life?
Yes. To protect my family.
Look at this job, bro. You know he's probably only making like $70K a year, risking his life like this.
He's sent around saying, "Is this Danny Polo?" Like, okay, these guys are actually looking for me.
What time did you get to the courthouse today and sit outside?
Just after 9 o'clock.
Nigga just said his
And were you
name.
wearing that mask?
No, sir.
In fact, you've been sitting out there for at least an hour unmasked as people were walking in and out, correct?
Correct.
Why on earth would he do that?
For the last hour, you've been right outside this courtroom where the doors are,
This nigga ain't talking about nothing, man.
correct?
Yes.
Unmasked,
Yes.
as people in this group, including myself, were walking in and out, correct?
Yes, sir.
You weren't concerned about your safety then?
No one knows where I was out there. And I was under the impression I wasn't going to be allowed to wear the mask. So for my safety, but more for the safety of my family. Conversations about placing a bounty on my head, upwards of $50,000.
We maintain our objection that it lacks the foundation to be introduced. They presented the court with case.
But I'm pretty sure them gang niggas, whoever coming, they can hear your voice, bro. I would think that. I wouldn't just be sitting here listening to my nigga talk and be like, "That's not Jimmy." No, he got a mask on. Come on, man. This is not Spider-Man, bro.
One party to that conversation needs to be brought in.
Melly's team's still objecting to any messages or anything over the internet that Melly had with anyone and saying that they need to authenticate the other end of the message and have them come into court, which is not going to happen.
Handle for each one of these texts is Sack Chaser Howard. Sack Chaser being the nickname, as we have indicated before, of one of the decedents.
So you're maintaining, again, you're maintaining that it's not his phone. You know, you said it was hearsay objection. I overruled that because it goes to who's using and controlling the phone, circumstantial evidence of that. That's why I let it in previously. You're saying that you want to demonstrate or document that it's his phone and you're going to show some of these texts or emails, and we'll see where it goes. You make your objection, we'll see where it goes.
Okay.
Man, he's team game planning.
Defendant's constitutional right to confrontation and have the jury have an opportunity to discern the credibility of the witness versus the right of the media to have a camera in the courtroom. And we'd like to come up with one proposal.
Counsel, do you ever something short and sweet? You know, you make a recommendation. I don't want this to go on for an hour. It's already 10:30.
I understand, but this is extremely important.
Melly's team just asked for a 5-minute recess to write up a report, basically trying to get the guy not to come in and testify.
Your jury instructions advise you to observe the demeanor and facial expressions of witnesses in determining their credibility. And obviously, you will not be able to do so in this case.
They're saying since the jury can't see his facial expressions and see how he's acting on the stand, that they aren't going to be able to receive his testimony.
Outweighs the defendant's constitutional right to face-to-face confrontation of witnesses against him.
I'm not, wouldn't be giving that instruction to the jury. Let's bring the jury up.
Judge said fuck no. He's not going to tell the jury that.
Training and education do you have in the area of gang and gang organization?
Probably upwards of 500 hours of just specialized training with gangs. organized crime and money laundering. Like I said, it all kind of intersects. Most recently, we infiltrated several blood gang sets. We had several detectives that are blood gang members.
For the past 30 minutes, he's talking about how they've infiltrated, and he just brought up how they were infiltrated blood gang sets.
Hey, you need to learn X, Y, Z. Next time we meet again, you need to learn this oath. You need to know this handshake. You need to know what to wear. You need to know what to say when you meet this guy. You're going to meet the next boss up. We've had those instances where we're meeting our gang members and our handshake, and everyone just kind of freezes. So like looking at that person like, who is he? Because that's the first thing you should have known.
He just brought up how a detective didn't know a handshake, and it was like a red flag to the gang. They're like, oh, clearly, how do you not know that? So one of the jurors apparently is uncomfortable about the guy wearing a mask, and she spoke up about it.
The first note indicated that was a question. Why does he get to see us and we don't get to see him? So I think that lets us know that it's the mask that's the concern.
I need a moment. I can't listen properly. When I was a child, I've seen someone get robbed, and I am having an anxiety attack.
Oh, that's sad. The juror said, when I was young, I saw someone get robbed with a mask, and I'm having an anxiety attack. That's actually really sad.
And yes,
That's kind of a stretch. Come on, let's be honest. Come on, man.
we can clarify that.
Maybe,
I have no
but
problem
come
doing that. But it can't be gang because we discussed that at length during board hour, and she cleared that hurdle and was put on the jury.
It's clearly not the talk about gangs that's scaring her, it's the mask. She said in the note that it's causing fucking PTSD pretty much when she was a child.
And it was, why can he see me and we can't see him? Which goes to the heart confrontation clause. Also lets us know that her concern is the mask.
Why can he see me but I can't see him? A juror asked that.
They elected to choose one who has threats against his life that don't concern this case and is undercover. And therefore that they have precipitated this problem. I think Mr. Demons,
They keep changing the way they pronounce his last name. It's so funny. I don't know if it's Demons, Demons, or Demons. Even his own lawyers keep messing up and then changing it. But that is a good point that the state picked the one guy that's undercover and has a bounty on his head. I feel like they did that for it to be more exaggerated. The jury, like, ooh, gangs, this guy's a bounty on his head.
Melly, I think our client has a right to a jury of his peers, one which was
The judge just smiled when he said Melly.
have been selected and is seated, and his right to both confrontation and to a jury that has been a juror that has been.
Man,
seated
where's all this heading?
supersedes
That's just my biggest
all of the
thing.
rights of the media. Of the
Is
state.
it Wayne and he did it, or Wayne and he didn't do it, man? Where we gonna get with this? How long this take too?
An expert who, or a witness who could have been, and when they could have chosen any of them.
That I'm telling the jury that I'm looking at the media's right to be here over his right to have to confront his accuser, and that's not the way the way it was crafted and worded to me was not the right way to handle it, and I wasn't going to do it.
Okay. I think there's ample evidence that that phone was used by more than one person. The phone comes back to the name Sack Chaser Howard. What that means, I know that my phone doesn't come back with the name Christine Bradley. And I think that is a clear indicator that that phone was being used by others. We know it's being used by several other people. It's not in his name, and it wasn't recovered from him.
The subscriber of that was Jamie King.
Yes, it
And
is.
Melly's team is battling not to get these phone messages. I've already
For
given
sure.
my stance on it. I think it's Melly's phone. Why would his Facebook and Instagram and Twitter be on the phone?
So at court, bro. First of all, how can a side say we don't want y'all to be able to peel up this information, bro? Shouldn't they get every information that there is? I don't care who, bro. Like, what's the point? Like, what are we here for? No, y'all can't get the camera footage if it happened. No, like, bro, what? How's that even debatable?
I think it's his phone, along with the hundreds of selfies
Honestly.
on there.
And I'd be happy to put together over lunch a compilation of every single one of the screenshots that the defendant took.
And so the fact that he may have identified that as a phone that he could be contacted at when he did a certain pawn transaction is not dispositive proof that he's the exclusive user of that phone.
We've heard this argument for about a week. I've heard
shit.
both sides. I think it's Melly's phone. Okay, here's some messages apparently about in the time period of when apparently.
Leave that shit alone. I'm telling you, you be leave that shit alone. I'm telling you, you be starting shit, ma. No, I didn't start anything. Just because you think it's okay for people to call your mom out her name. Listen, I do not care. I do care about any of. Listen, I do care about any of this, but you have not posted anything about Sack, and he jumping what? His sister started making posts about me. That's scary.
Zach Taser and Melly's mom were arguing. That's a motive that people had because of that video I showed you on a previous video. Leave that shit alone, I'm telling you. Yeah, you be starting shit, ma. No, I didn't start anything just because you think it's okay for people to call your mom out. Not post anything about Zach and he jumping what his sister started making posts about me. That's crazy.
Showing that it is not Zach that is on the other end of this line. Or
How is his sister going on social media talking about punching me in the face? My fault.
How is his sister going on social media talking about punching me in the face?
You started it by texting his mama, gonna be problems, and not even knowing what you talking about. You a grown-ass lady doing childish shit, and ain't nobody tell you to text her. She could have called me or texted me back, not have you or your daughter all on social media talking about fighting me like I cussed at her. I didn't even say one cuss word when I texted her. I said nothing disrespectful and you know it. You talking, making a live video talking about your mother. It's going to make people hate you. That's why I have never... would never do that because I love you. So this phone number says young Zach Chaser Howard. So that's Melly's defense team pointing that out, being like, why is it saying young Zach Chaser? But it's clearly Melly typing, in my opinion.
your actions, I take up for you. I have people telling me your son doesn't care about you. That Jamel Demon's mother is Jamie King. Here she is identifying that she is speaking to her son in that.
This is at 5 in the morning on the day of the murders. Looks like about an hour and 16 minutes after the murder, somewhere around there. Send me your location. I'm in Stewart.
I'm in Stewart. I love you so much. He then asks his mother to buy him a Glock ASAP.
2 days after the murder, he said, buy me a Glock ASAP, like go now. Why he need a Glock so bad suddenly? I know people are gonna be like,
Bro, this dude right here, the only thing I don't like is he be trying his hardest to just make it like, bro, I don't know, he got something against Melly. He on some weirdo
he's
shit.
a rapper, of course he needs a Glock, yeah. I understand that, but 2 days after his friends got murdered, it could be because, you know, a drive-by happened.
Come on now, it's
he's
common
scared
sense.
of retaliation of someone else.
So she then responds, okay, what's wrong?
Niggas like
She
you.
says, I got your 45. Then his response, I just don't want no illegal gun. Well, that's not illegal. But I'd rather have a Glock 40 or a 19. She says, okay. His response is, I'll pay you when you get down here.
I object to this. Is she going to read the entire phone? This is not go to the heart of our objection. This is being done for the cameras.
This is being done for the cameras.
The contention
Bro,
that
it's
someone will allow
information.
photos of his penis to be accessed and sent out by friends and other people is absolutely ridiculous.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What was that last sentence?
For
There's
real.
dick pics on there, Melly's piece.
That someone would allow photos of his penis to be accessed and sent out by friends and other people is absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, this is the same thing with the X trial. They tried to say Michael Boatwright's phone wasn't his phone, but there was dick pics on there. You're not gonna have dick pics
Why you
on a
niggas
group
got
phone,
dick
bro.
pics
We're going
anyway?
to proceed and see where it goes. It seems to me that there is extrinsic evidence.
Judge sided with the prosecution.
Whether or not you have ever been declared an expert in any proceeding.
Correct.
And have you?
At that time, I don't believe so.
Okay, so your expertise, or at least there's no court that has acknowledged your expertise up until February 17 of 2022.
That I can recall.
Can you tell us how much of your training is actually gang related?
The majority of the both.
Defense is casting doubt on if this guy is even qualified to be a witness or not, or an expert.
Close to 100 hours, maybe more. It's an estimate.
13 or 30?
30.
30.
Yes, sir.
So when you gave us a number of 30 suspects,
That was blood investigations.
okay, that was blood on.
What you mean by that, buddy?
Holy shit, bro is in deep. 30 suspects in the last year that are only bloods.
You would agree that those undercover officers who went that step would probably know more about the intimacies than you would.
I was the case agent on that.
So you're saying that the only reason that there are different rules in different parts of the country of a gang is because they're lost in communication, or do different localities have different rules?
Both.
Okay, well, speak to you, you said you look at the way they dress and the way they stand.
Specific to the right side. So they might stand and cross their arms a certain way with the right arm over the left arm. Or they might wear their hat to the right. They might put a bandana on the right.
Were you able to document 3 or more members?
In reference to this case.
in reference
Keep
to
this guy at y'all
I think I
set,
stopped
bro.
at like 17 or 18. Demmons was a member of this gang. Multiple videos of Mr. Demmons claiming G-Shine or GKB. The foot soldiers are told to wear tan or brown. And Mr. Demmons, there's a bunch of pictures of him wearing this tan trench coat. Yes, Mr. Demmons does all the gang signs, and he does them very well. He can do them very quickly, a lot faster than I can.
This man is
He'll go
he's
with
telling
B for blood,
everything.
B for blood. Every set has their own specific hand signs that other G-Shine members or blood members, contacts that he had on his phone, and photographs that he had on his phone, social media.
I mean, I kind of thought it was obvious Melly was a part of a gang, but I don't think the murders really had anything to do with the gang itself or anything like that. They say he did it to further the gang. So I feel like if Melly really did this, it was a huge argument out of nowhere, and shit hit the fan in the car.
I don't believe this is an act or a character This is, as I stated, G-Shine is one of the more violent blood sets. They're the ones that are enforcing when other people are false repping, and that's what they're known for. So if a famous person were to false rep G-Shine, they would quickly get checked. That happened to those two kids. I don't know how old they're. Those two guys that were claiming sex money murder, the Island Boys.
This nigga is telling about everything he possibly can, bro.
Those two kids. I don't know how old they're. Those two guys that were claiming sex money murder, the Island Boys. Fun haircut.
Okay.
Yeah, they were claiming to be members of sex money murder, which is a set of the Bloods, and they quickly got checked by almost every Blood.
Bro just exposed that the Island Boys got checked for fake flag and blood. I wonder how he feels about all the fucking gang shit that was just talked about. So this is an email between someone named Jaquan Burton, the YNW Melly booking email that was on the phone apparently. There is a bunch of documents about the principles and rules and G-soldiers and the meaning of G-Shine.
And who is it addressed to?
YNWMellyBooking@gmail.com.
Why is this blood set sending documents over email? That doesn't seem to be very smart.
For
to
real.
me.
The information that we're hearing, I'm sorry I have to make it a little bit smaller to fit on the page. Is this
Oh Jesus, dude. It's just a bunch of shit about G-Shine. 30 laws. Blood in, blood out. Jumped in. Voted in by the committee, put in work, no snitching, no punking out, no homo.
And does this really accurately depict the conversation that is on that cell phone?
Yes.
Here at this time, the state requesting states triple B in and published to the jury.
Same objection.
Objection's overruled.
Melly's team objected to all those conversations, but it was overruled.
And what does HERC mean?
Herc is a term used by members of G-Shine to refer to each other. It's like calling each other bro or dude, same thing.
And on the December 1st, 2018, this particular message, is there another term that would indicate G-Shine affiliation?
The rank designation is Scary.
Rise up, bro. We need to sit down as soon as possible and formulate a game plan for the production of our community beloved.
You have many other hoods that have productive aspects in motion, and it's time for us to put a form of some businesses into existence so we can grow as a family. We are already established financially, so we want to combine with you in the form of growth and development, and endure prosperous ventures as a collective.
You pointed out in this particular photograph.
It's the subject of when she was jumping.
In the center of the frame?
Yes.
Objection, may the record reflect that the state pointed to it, and he identified the person to whom the state pointed.
Oh my god, she asked him to identify him and then pointed right at him.
The special status Gino is explaining what the code means, so that the recipient doesn't mess up when Godfather questions him.
Man got blood instructions sent to him. Want you to groom him. Show them the meaning of chain of command. Safety and security. Show dude something different.
I think they should have allowed the jury to just know that he was in a gang, period. I think the fact that they're now trying to explain this some more hurts them, because the average juror, which is why we have an expert, right? The average juror doesn't know this about gangs. They just think that gangs are violent. They don't know that there are laws. They don't know that they're instructing you to love each other and to read and to go to school and not to be homosexual and to make sure your hygiene is good. They don't know this about gangs. And so now you're introducing them to an element and an aspect that they aren't familiar with that undermines your case.
I don't think this is a slam dunk by any means. I think the defense definitely has some inroads in there, and there's some reasonable doubt for sure. So I think it's not a slam dunk. I think they still have a chance.
Alright, that's a wrap on day 7. A lot of gang evidence that...
Hey man, let me know what y'all think about everything that was said today. Let me know if Melly, y'all think he gonna beat this case or if he's not gonna beat this case. I still do not know. It's just a bunch of just the same shit over and over. At this point, we just need video footage of the where that shit happened. Honestly, that's about damn the only thing that's gonna rule this case one way or the other. But if y'all liked the video, like, comment, subscribe, check everything down below. Till next time, we are out.